Focus on bringing people in.
Well, we're here now.
Last 20 for the national championship. Yeah, link it up, pound it.
We have pretty solid contact.
How do I make my legs look bigger?
Stronger for betting shirts.
Get excited.
A lot of minutes by a lot of times.
Eyes up, chins up.
And much faster.
Keeping the team together.
It was pretty good, and it was pretty hard.
Big congrats to the guys.
Actually, it was so hard.
Yep, headed back to Melbs.
It's gonna be so much better.
Hi folks, welcome to the Redliner Experience. It is October 11th, 2019. We are in the Evans Library on the Florida Tech campus in the DSL podcast room. Joining me today is my friend and teammate, William Stanhope. Welcome, Will.
Thank you, Christian.
Absolutely. So, Will, this is, I don't know, have you tuned in to any of the other ones?
Yeah, I watched the one with Zap.
Zap?
Yeah.
Cool. Zap's a cool guy, major three-point threat. So, again, we're doing this to kind of involve the team around and get some, like, kind of qualitative conversations with everybody, maybe bringing the team a little closer together. And it's also been pretty big for families. I've gotten, like, a bunch of compliments from parents who are pretty interested in understanding what the team environment's like and who their kid's new family is, basically. So you are episode 3 of the Redliner Experience, and this is part of a meet the team kind of agenda. So we'll talk a bit about you, talk a bit about Rowan, Florida Tech, Melbourne, the rest of the world, and maybe about the upcoming season. So, Will, it's no secret to any of us on the team that you live a very unique life. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
I
mean, no, my normal is different than other people's normal, but I don't know.
Right, and I guess we could all say that we all live really unique lives. So you were born in the Bahamas.
Yep, in Nassau.
In Nassau, and is that where you kind of grew up?
Yeah, I grew up in Nassau for the most part, and then ended up going to boarding school up in New Hampshire for high school, and started rowing up there, and then came down to college here at Florida Tech.
Neat. So did you do any other sports before rowing?
Not really competitively. I did a lot of cross-country running, sailing, some swimming. That was about it. Oh, I did road cycling as well.
So when you were at the Dublin school, how was the whole recruiting process, or like how did you get into it?
Like the recruiting process for rowing?
Just rowing, yeah. How'd you stumble upon it?
Well, we had a rowing team. I got into rowing at boarding school. We got picked up by the team there because I had a decent height, I guess. Mm-hmm. Got pretty good at rowing my sophomore year, and then ended up getting a whole bunch of emails from coaches, and then going to Worlds. Summer after sophomore year. Wow. And then got a lot of coaches talking to me. So
that's pretty sweet. So you went to the Worlds for the Bahamas, correct?
Yeah.
And what events did you race in there?
I raced in Rio in 2015 in the men's double, and then 2016 in Rotterdam in the men's single, 2017 at under 23s in the men's single, 2018 again in the single in Poznan, and then this year again in Sarasota in the single.
What a cool resume. I'm really curious about Rio. What was that whole experience like? The news, I'm thinking of the news. What was it like being there?
Rio was a good time. It was like that was when I went to Rio, I'd only been rowing I'd only been rowing for 4 months at that point, but had got decent enough to go. I'd got a decent enough erg that my coach was like, okay, we'll just put you in the double.
Wow. So what's the selection like in the Bahamas? What's the population like in the Bahamas to begin with?
In the Bahamas as a whole, or just in Nassau?
Well, it depends. Like, what do you select from?
In Nassau, we've got like 500,000 people or so.
All right.
Right now, we probably have like 30 people or 35 people in the rowing down there. So it's like, it's kind of growing. It's like a developing country. So
Yeah. That's pretty epic. Now, were you or anyone you know like affected by the recent storm?
I definitely know some people whose houses, like our family, or my cousins have a house in Abaco, or they have a small island off of Abaco called Kubijak. I think their house got kind of devastated, but luckily they weren't there. So,
Yeah, seeing the videos of that stuff, it's intense, and it like kind of stalled, right?
It stopped over Freeport, I believe, and then just kind of wreaked havoc there, unfortunately. So kind of displaced a lot of people, but they've done the whole global community has done a pretty good job at getting relief down there to get everything bounced back. So from what I've heard, everything has definitely bounced back pretty well so far.
Have you visited since?
No, we're actually visiting. I'm visiting Nassau tomorrow evening.
Oh wow!
After rowing practice.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. What was it like going up to New Hampshire in high school?
In high school, it was different. I liked it. I actually really liked New Hampshire.
So it was an all boys boarding school?
Oh no, it was co-ed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not a shot. I was going to an all. Yeah. It was fun though. It was like definitely different. I got into Nordic skiing, which is like cross country skiing. You kind of you're not skiing downhill. You're skiing up the hills and then it's like ultra long distance skiing essentially. It's a lot of Europeans do it as cross training to rowing in the winter. So
right, and that so New Hampshire is Craftsbury in New Hampshire.
Yeah, we would go to Craftsbury on the weekends sometime to train.
Wow, how far away was that from Dublin?
It was like an hour and a half drive. Or so.
And what are those facilities like? Because I've heard so much about them, but I've not like.
The facilities are like, the ski trails there are some of the best for sure. The rowing facilities, I haven't done much of that really there, but their gym and everything is pretty nice. It's like, it's very Vermont. It's like their gym is all wood. Like everything is like made out of plywood and 2x4s. Like
that's cool.
But they got a rogue gym and everything. It's like they've got all this equipment. It's like very New England. Like we're in the woods kind of training. Like it's very you would like it there for sure.
I bet.
Yeah. Like, but anybody can pretty much go there and train. It's like a lot of people think it's just, oh, this is an Olympic facility. It's so expensive to go train there, but you'd be surprised. They're pretty much, if you
like
know,
all sorts of people there.
Yeah, all sorts of people are there on the weekends. So
right, so they do rowing training. Well, I'm thinking of the Green Racing Project.
Yeah, I know a guy from I'm friends with a guy from the summer named Frank, who's in the Green Racing Project. Actually, he said
Is that Frid?
Pardon? Frank.
Yeah, I was thinking of this guy's like username on Instagram, Frid something. Anyway, an aside. So the Green Racing Project, that includes like rowing and skiing and swimming too, maybe?
I think it's just skiing and rowing.
Skiing
if
and
I'm
rowing?
not mistaken, yeah.
And but the Craftsbury, it's just, isn't it like kind of a resort sort of thing? Like there's lakes and all sorts of stuff. Or
yeah, I think they have it as like a revenue side of their business, or it's not really business. It's like a revenue is a way for them to produce some money. So like they have a place like you can go ski there for a week or something if you wanted to, like, and you'd pay for lodging and everything. But we wouldn't really stay there. We'd just kind of drive back and forth because it was close enough to the boarding school. So,
right on. So you are also a pilot.
Yeah.
How long have you been flying?
I got my pilot's license after my junior year of high school, so probably going on like 5 years now. I'm a pilot.
5 years. And
Yeah.
do you know how many hours you have? Is that like a sensitive thing?
Right now, I've got about 1,100 hours, I'd say.
1,100 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
A decent amount of hours, I guess.
I'm trying to think of how many days that is. That's impressive.
decent amount of time sitting in
Yeah.
airplanes for sure.
Does it ever get boring?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When if
I can
I'm in the
imagine.
plane doing like a 5-hour leg or something, I'll sit there. You sit there, like especially if you're by yourself, you sit there and stare out the window the whole time. You're kind of just like.
Yeah.
But you can put on some music, luckily. So, or like put on an ebook like Audible.
Do you
like,
listen to that through your headphones? up
Yeah,
there?
like sometimes like I'll just put on an ebook and then learn something. So.
Right. What kind of size of planes are you flying?
I fly a twin engine, a Seneca 2, which is like a 6-seat turbocharged twin. So
Right. And what year is that?
the one we have is like a 1980.
1980.
Yeah,
That's not too bad. That's
that's
pretty cool.
like a pretty average age of an airplane in GA is like 1982. So
Right. So I visited Southeast Aerospace this summer,
yeah,
and I was working for Space Coast Business, writing articles and whatnot, and they were talking about how the average age of an airplane is nothing like that of a car,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah, no,
yeah, and it's mostly because you have to do these checks on them
Yeah.
all the time, so you're keeping care of them.
yeah.
But like if you treated a car like you would an airplane,
Oh, the car would
the
last.
car
a
would
while.
last so much longer.
Yeah, the airplane. So the airplane that, like airplanes in general, you have to do annual inspections. You have to do 100-hour inspections. You do like so much inspections every year. Like like an airplane after 10 years, a significant amount of the parts will be new. So like you're constantly replacing everything as it wears. So airplanes generally tend to last a very long time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you take care of an airplane like your body takes care of you.
Yeah,
Cells just
exactly.
regenerate. Do you think that has influenced the way that you like handle the rest of your life, like having that kind of responsibility after something like that?
Yeah, for sure. The like especially like like being organized for sure. Like aviation, like it's not like you definitely can't just go jump in an airplane and be like, all right, we're gonna turn the keys and take off. You got to be very systematic. Like I've
Right.
kind of be a very systematic person.
Kind of running
but
through protocols.
Yeah,
every
run
step
through
forward.
everything. So definitely some life
Mhm.
correlation there, I guess.
Right on. So, do you want to fly for a living when you get out of here?
Not really any. I did when I came in here. I wanted to fly for a living, and then I kind of realized aviation is a very, per se, how do I put this? You don't have a very set schedule. You're very on your toes. I want more of a.
Right.
Realized I want more of a. I'm gonna stay in one place kind of job. So
This is when I'm going to work. This is when I'm going to play.
yeah,
when I
this is
sleep.
one. Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of aiming towards going into finance. So I declared a second major here in finance. So
Well,
Yeah.
are you still on track to do the 4-year?
it's probably going to take me like 5 years to finish both degrees, but
Oh, cool.
so I have 2 degrees when I graduate.
Sick. That's epic.
Yeah.
How you liking finance?
Well, I just declared it this semester, so probably going to start in spring semester. So I'm in corporate finance right now. And
Right.
enjoy the class a lot. Like so much fun. Like most people wouldn't say that, but I don't know. It's like watching money move and everything. It's definitely.
No kidding, dude. I mean, when you came here at 18 years old, I would have guessed that you already had a finance degree. I mean, Will's always coming around asking us like, "Hey, have you seen the stocks come up and down? Yada yada. Did you get on the Bitcoin? Get on the Bitcoin." No, we got on the Bitcoin.
Yeah, the markets are definitely that's definitely something that interests me. Like especially watching like Donald Trump will say something and then the markets like you look like he'll say something after markets close and you're just like, oh, immediately I know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Like last night, for example, I was reading a whole article by Wall Street Journal. He was like, oh yeah, Trump says trade talks are going real well with China, and I was like, oh, stocks are gonna go up 5%. Sure enough, this morning stocks shot up like 5%.
So, do you think it's kind of like a social thing? That-
Stocks,
Yeah.
or I think a decent part of like investors like certainty. So when the president of the president or the leader of the free world says something like antagonizes China or something, that tends to create a lot of uncertainty. So you can kind of predict when Trump starts a trade war with China that we're going to have some decline in stock market, especially like when you start talking about like metal imports and like different chemical companies and stuff like that, for sure. So
Right on.
kind of interesting how, but it's definitely like, that's just one small aspect of it. Like obviously like earnings per share and like how a company in general is doing, like how it's being managed and everything is like a super important factor when you're like sussing out a company and everything. So
Right. So with your finance degree, if you want to get into finance, you're quite the international guy already. Would you like to work like internationally or?
I think I'm probably gonna end up working for my family's companies at the end of the day, because I love living in the Bahamas. It's awesome place to live, like, and it's so close to the United States. Like I can go work in the Bahamas and then easily be in Florida on the weekend if I wanted to be. So
Right on. So I've heard like stories about you, like James Gatsby, like Jay Gatz. Like I hear that your family works with like Rolex and owns Starbucks, and
I mean we're the authorized agents for. So we do like a few different things down in the Bahamas. We import like a decent amount of the food down into the Bahamas. We have the franchise for Starbucks. We're like the agents for most of the Swiss watch companies like Rolex, Breitling, Patek, etc. So most of those stores. We have the franchise for Gucci down there too. So
Gucci.
it's pretty. I mean, like our family business was started by my great great grandfather, I guess, Sir Asa H. Pritchard, in 1929 or something like that. So it started off as like a real small tobacco shop called John Bull, and then it kind of diversified, and then we had Ace H. Pritchard, which was like a small grocery store, and then it developed into an imports company essentially.
wow, that's pretty cool that you can track it so recently, like from the ground up in the Bahamas. Now, before the Bahamas, do you know like what your lineage was like?
I think we came from England. I know we definitely came from England, and we have some family from Canada too. So,
pretty neat.
Yeah.
So this campus that we're on right now, what attracted you here? Flying?
I came here mainly because of the aviation program. Like aviation has always been something that I had a deep passion for since I was like 2 years old. So I was definitely like, I'm going to get my commercial pilot's license. I'm going to get my airline transport license. But didn't really know a whole lot about working in the industry. And after like the pay scale for an airline pilot is amazing. It's just like, it only fit, the lifestyle of that only fits for a select kind of person, I would say. So I'm going to enjoy like having like the pilot thing I think it's going to be like more of a side gig. Like I'll probably, hopefully in NASA, I'll be able to find some sort of 135 job that I could do on the side that would kind of work within my schedule and then still have the professional pilot side of things. But as like a full-time career, I definitely wouldn't want to be an airline pilot, I don't think.
Right on. Cool. So, with rowing coming here, what are some of the things that you enjoy about the team?
The guys know how to have a lot of fun. Definitely,
For sure.
definitely a fun, awesome group of guys. Definitely all seem to care about the sport for sure. The guys know how to work pretty hard when they need to. I definitely respect that. When I came down here for my official visit as a senior in high school, definitely enjoyed the vibe of Florida. Like it's nice and warm down here. Everybody's always happy. Like the Northeast up in the winter can get really dark and gray, and people can get pretty crabby for a few months, and it's not the best.
Yeah, right.
Kinda
You came
thing.
down and
Yeah, you
like,
come
it was
down.
like 30 degrees 12 hours ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just this is like a beautiful campus too. So a really nice part of Florida. So
Yeah, right on. All right. Also, you've been showing out this semester, and like, what's going on, man? Like, share some speed with the rest of us.
the like what ergs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to go to the Olympic trials down in Rio in April, and definitely the only way that I'm gonna end up, because I need to get top 7 to end up going to Tokyo. So
Right.
The only way that's gonna happen is if I really, really like. I mean, obviously, I'm working hard for the guys because I want FIT to go fast, but there's also like another side motivation for me. Like if I can be as fast as I possibly can be by
Absolutely.
April, then I have the best shot at moving forward. So
Yeah, what a fire under your.
definitely puts the fire under.
That's incredible. What have you made like any lifestyle changes that have kind of helped you as far as like sleep, nutrition?
For
recovery?
sure, I definitely pay a lot more attention as to what I put in my body now. I like not like as we all know, when you walk past the dessert bar in PDH, just kind of
Right,
look
like,
away.
I was
You're just
too
like,
quick
I'm
to
not
go,
even
maybe.
not even gonna look at it. I'm just kind of eating, just like eating less garbage. I guess it could definitely help a
Right on.
lot for sure.
Cool. And how's school going for you right now?
It's going pretty well. I think classes are generally pretty, like, read the material, do well.
Yeah, have you had any midterms?
I've had one midterm for general aviation ops and management, which was a pretty easy midterm. I got a couple midterms coming up for a few of my aviation classes, so probably gonna grind those out this weekend.
Cool. This afternoon we actually have practices, and the hopeful Charles Fours are going to the canal at about 5:30 this evening, and the rest of us will be going to the boathouse. So, congratulations on this
Yeah.
prospective seat. I mean, you're probably definitely in the boat. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, Charles, you've been to Charles before.
Yeah, I went in the single, and it was a really good time. Like, I mean, good time relatively. Like the Charles is always super windy when you're rowing a single. I mean, come to a dead stop sometimes, but it's definitely a really fun race. You got all sorts of rowing people there, so
Pretty sweet. So have you ever been on a flat Charles River?
no, never.
What about a warm one?
Yes, I trained there all summer in 2017 on the Charles out of BU, so that definitely seen it when it was warm.
Right on. What's Boston like?
Boston, definitely lots of life there.
Yeah.
You'll never not find something to do on the weekend.
Yeah, I could predict that. This guy's like, I've like heard from some guys, the Ivies. It's just like every night there's opportunity. It's not like here where it's like,
You're like, oh, we're gonna go to trivia night on Tuesday.
yeah, it's maybe there's old school pizza. No, the pizza's bad. You want to grab a milkshake at the Rat?
Yeah.
Living it up. But I mean, what a beautiful place to live in. You a fan of beaches?
Oh, for sure. I live in the Bahamas, so
Yeah.
got all kinds of
So
beaches.
you grew up with it and you didn't get tired of it.
No.
That's such a blessing, dude.
Yeah.
I know so many people who just grow up with beaches and they get so bored by it.
Yeah,
How
I mean the
did you-
beaches we have down there are like so beautiful. Like it's amazing. Like some of them are like the sand is like baby powder. Like
And then the water goes from crystal clear to emerald green. And it's just,
yeah, it's most of the time it's like a clear like like a sky blue color almost or an aqua it's kind of hard to explain.
yeah, you're making me drool. So, living in the Bahamas, what kind of activities did you do for fun growing up?
I played baseball when I was a kid. We would go to Exuma a lot. We'd go to this place called Hybern Key. We'd go out on the boat with my family for we'd go stay on the boat for a week or 2 weeks, and we'd go do all sorts of stuff there. Like, you have beaches. Like, you keep the boat in a marina. There's we have iguanas. We got swimming pigs. We got also it's an endless, you go snorkeling, scuba diving. We got all sorts of stuff to do. So
What are the iguanas like there? Is there too many of them?
there's one island called Allen's Key. It's got tons of iguanas, and I honestly have never seen another iguana anywhere else in the Bahamas other than Allen's Key. So they're pretty fun though. You can feed them cabbage and all sorts of different things.
Have you been to Key West?
Yeah.
Right. So that seems like a silly question to ask you. But in Key West, there are so many iguanas, and they kind of
I heard they fall out of trees.
Yeah, they fall out of trees. I've been terrified by them, and just I'd go like kayaking down there to go fishing in the little canals, and an iguana falls on its back and then rolls over and starts swimming out. But they'll like tell you to hit them there because they're a nuisance.
Yeah.
There's just too many of them, and I've seen people hit them. We used to
That's so
go.
mean.
I used to go yearly when I was really young, and we went with this guy, a really good friend of mine, Dane, his great uncle, Papa T. He would swerve his big old truck and just, oh, gotta get rid of these iguanas. Such a nuisance. But yeah, paradise, dude. And we got a little slice of that here.
Yeah, this is definitely a really nice place to live. Like, of all the other university, like, I went and looked at universities up in the Northeast before I came here. Like, I looked at Marist, I looked at Syracuse, I looked at like all those schools up there, and then I came down here and I was like, this is not even a comparison. I'm coming down here for sure.
Right. Yeah, I visited Hobart.
Yeah, I visited Hobart too. It was like
just so cold.
Cold, miserable, middle of nowhere, nothing to do.
Yeah. No, I grew up in like hell heat, so I can handle the heat here.
Yeah.
But my fingers go numb pretty quickly.
Yeah, up there, dude, I was like, no way. Like, so cold.
Yeah.
We went to I went on an official at Hobart in October.
Me too.
And you did?
Yeah, probably a year before you though.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was so cold. It was October, and we were out there wearing full like
the
full
emergency
suits, and we're still all cold. It was like 30 degrees. I was like, I'm not coming to school here.
That's wild. Yeah, there was like 2 guys with pogies on.
Yeah.
We don't have too many like really harsh mornings like that. We've had some brutal times in the rain, and then the rain clears up here.
Yeah.
And when it does, it just gets humid and hot, and it feels like Hades is ushering you along. It's brutal. But you definitely get that at the canal. You'll like see the storm chasing you one way. I love seeing that line of water. Just
Yeah.
and then it hits the stern deck. And then it starts like enveloping you, and then it passes back over you.
Yeah.
But then you're left with like that humid.
Yeah.
It's like it took this curtain and like filtered over just a mist that you're sitting in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We used to we'd have practice because I trained in Nassau for a while in the single, and we'd go there at 5:30 in the morning every morning, and then you'd get like rain or something, and then it would stop, and then it would be like 90 degrees, and it's got that stagnant like humid, and it was like so like you wouldn't even be rowing, and then the people in the launch would be drenched in sweat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I grew up rowing in Inverness, Florida, which is on the Gulf side. It's basically just a bunch of swampland.
Yeah.
There's just swamp and cattle pastures and swamp and then this huge series of lakes. So like we could max get like 7K going, but we'd have to go through like some cuts in the lily pads and just a bunch of weird stuff. But it would get soggy there.
Yeah.
A soggy place to grow. We originally were training out of a boatyard and then a gym. So we would show up to practice back when I was like a novice and sophomore, and we'd go to the boatyard and take the boats out. We'd wet launch, go out in the lake, come back, run down about a quarter mile maybe to the gym, and it was just this old house.
Yeah.
That the city or the state ended up buying as a historic property, and we got kicked out and we had to find a new facility. But this place was just so, like, if you stretched, you would hit the ceiling.
Oh my goodness.
So we had to do like weights outside, and but when we'd ergon there, several times the fire alarms would go off.
Oh man. We go just because from all the humidity in there.
We just had to keep going. Yeah, pretty brutal.
Man.
So you are class of 20?
21.5.
21.5. I like it. I'm 20.5. All right. I think we could wrap it up and start getting ready for practice.
Yeah, for sure. It's getting to be about that time.
Sounds good with me. I thank you for coming.
Of course, dude.
I had a blast.
Me too.
I can't wait to like watch you guys in the live stream for the second when it's not fading out at Charles. There's a lot of glitches with that, but I wish you the best with that. Of course, I'll see you again soon, but I'm sure everybody listening also wishes you the best. For those of you listening, make sure you like, subscribe. There's a little bell that you can press to get notifications for this. I'm mostly explaining this to my mom. So you can press the bell and get notified when we have these videos, and you can tune in and find out how your boy's doing and all of his boys. So I'm Christian Dawson. This is Will Stanhope. You can follow us on Instagram at Redliner Experience. Like our page on Facebook, Redliner Experience. And the best way to join the conversation, I'd say, is on Instagram. So at Redliner Experience. Will Stanhope, thanks for coming out.
Of course, dude. Awesome being here.
Nick, forgot to mention in the last episode, Nick Bainey is helping us out with audio visuals, and he's been able to get this whole thing going live, so super grateful for that. He's got this sick new little ring light, makes our faces all shiny and bright. It's great. So thanks, everyone. Long live the Red Lines. Peace.
Long, strong rowing here.
Focus on bringing people in.
Well, we're here now.
Last 20 for the national championship. Yeah, link it up, pound it.
We have pretty solid contact.
How do I make my legs look bigger? Stronger.
For betting shirts.
Get excited.
A lot of minutes by a lot of times.
Eyes up, chins up.
And much faster.
Keeping the team together.
It was pretty good, and it was pretty hard.
Big congrats to the guys.
Actually, it was so hard.
Yep, headed back to Melv's.
It's gonna be so much better.